Welcome to the Encore Audio Archives YouTube channel. I'm Taper Dave, and this is my channel. I've uploaded hundreds of talks here that I've recorded at meetings in West LA, and I've also recorded conventions starting in 2013. I've got a bunch of those up. And Walt and Mary Murray, the original owners of Encore Audio Archives, started the company in the 80s, and Walt recorded Joe and Charlie's and a bunch of stuff down in Vista, California. My sobriety date is June 20th of 1994. I hope you find something you like, so please like and subscribe to my channel and comment down below. If you want to hear something that I don't have or that you don't see, I'll see that I get it. Anyways, take care and have a great day if you want to.
Let's welcome today's speaker, our secretary from last year, Siddiqui, my friend.
Where's my water? Where's my water? Thank you. And this stage is a total mess. It's gone to hell in a handbasket since Don took over. My name is Siddiqui. I'm a grateful recovering alcoholic. Seriously, Don, please come clean this up. I can't concentrate with this going on. And in about 2 minutes, John is going to start like popping out this gum in this like foil wrapper stuff, and he's going to start organizing the CDs over here, and it's just going to like throw me off my game. Please stay seated. There it is. There it is. There it is. See? It's going to be on the tape now for all time's sake. Wow, it has been such an honor and a privilege to serve as secretary of this group, to serve you. I have never, ever in my entire sobriety felt so in the center of AA. I'm looking at my sponsors. I'm in many 12-step programs because that's just how sick I am. Yes. Woohoo! Let's hear it for all the 12-step programs. I'm going to start anonymous, so that we can just be anonymous across the board. If you are new, welcome. If you didn't want to come up here and say that you are a newcomer, or if it is your first meeting and you were like, hell no, I'm not getting up there, I understand. Why would you? I mean, you would be like, what the heck is going on? There's a piano, there's a full buffet, there's a carving station. Actually, we didn't have the carving station this week. It's coming. Don promised me that it's coming. There's 10 different kinds of creamer because you need that to stay sober. You need a variety of creamers. And you need every different kind of coffee also to stay sober so you can stay awake during the speaker. And of course, you need to be entertained because you're an alcoholic, and that's like the prerequisite of staying sober is to be entertained, right? Right, which is why I'm in trouble. I've been going through the speaker CDs, and I was just like, I'm so screwed because I'm so not as entertaining as any of the speakers that I booked. My biggest privilege in being the secretary is going through all of the people that I have been inspired by and actually getting them to come and speak at this meeting. That was amazing for me to actually see them in person. I know we live in LA. I've never been the kind of person that recognizes anybody on the streets. In fact, my recovery started in Minnesota, don't you know? And when my friends learned that I was moving to LA and escaping the tundra, they were like, why are you going there? You don't know anybody. You don't like watch TV. You don't know like movie stars. You're going to go there and you're not going to know anybody. And I'm like, I think that that's charming. I think that people will appreciate that about me. They'll think it's fresh. But so when I got this position, the only people I knew were the people that I'd been listening to in Minnesota in the deep recesses of winter, like the people from LA. We get the speaker CDs from John. So it was an irony when I first came here with Marcia. Is she here today? With Marcia. Marcia brought me here for the first time. Hi, honey. Thank you for bringing me here. She was the cake person, and she brought me here. And it was so ironic that I had gotten one of John's CDs in Minnesota. Actually, a couple of them. And that I was then at this meeting sitting doing the birthday cake commitment. Can we talk about that for a minute? Service will keep you sober. But there should be a disclaimer about the birthday cake commitment, because that was my first commitment at this meeting, and I singed my eyebrows off. It should come with like a bottle of Latisse or something so you can grow your eyelashes back. Have you seen that cake when it's in full flaming action? We need a fire extinguisher person added to the list. One of my favorite secretaries was Tim R. And he began his secretary speech, lecture, whatever this is, your homage to your secretaryship, with the birthday count. Do you ever get sick of like, happy birthday to you? I sit there and I'm like, how many times do we actually sing this? So Tim did this, and I'm going to do it for you. We actually sung it 206 times over the past 6 months. We celebrated 2,794 years of sobriety. 2,794 years of sobriety in the 6 months that I was secretary. Over the 25 weeks that I was secretary, that is an average of 13.56 years per birthday. Yeah. So if you stick around, you'll have an average of 13.56 years per birthday. That's really good news for those of you that have 30 days. That between all of us, you have more than 30 days, but really it's only one day at a time. So anyway, that's it for the birthday cake commitment. May the force be with you. Keep it away. My mom came to this meeting, and she was with me when I was doing the birthday cake commitment, and everybody spits on that cake. I just have to say one more thing. She leaned over to me, and she's like, do people actually eat that cake? And I'm like, you know what they actually do? And she's like, ew. And I'm like, we're just alcoholics. We eat anything you put in front of us. I love you guys. I love everybody at this meeting. It's like central casting for the next Medea movie. Have you guys seen Medea? Some of you have. I don't even know where to start with my story. I can only think of you guys as my extended family. I look around and I think about all the, why are you looking so serious? Jesus, lighten up. It's just, it'll be over soon. It'll be over in about 20 minutes, so just settle down. You'll sell a couple. Did you see that? There are so many, for those of you that are new, it's principles before personalities, except for in this meeting, it's just all personalities. Thank you guys. Thank you for keeping me sober for 25 weeks. That was amazing. That's what you get as a result of doing service, is you get to stay sober, one day at a time, sometimes 1 hour at a time. It doesn't matter what you're doing to be of service. There were times where I was dressed like this and I was out in the dumpster pushing the garbage down. There was times when I was dressed like this, pantyhose, dress, high heels, in the women's bathroom fixing the toilet. You are welcome, ladies. And there are times when I had other commitments at this meeting, but it didn't matter whether I was secretary or whether I was fixing the toilet. I was staying sober. Now, on the other hand, I had about 156 Al-Anon relapses while I was secretary here, trying to herd the cats at this meeting. Obviously, I was somewhat successful, but not entirely. Here's the evidence behind me. Anyway, I came to the first 12-step meeting when I was 16. My mom brought me. It was in another program. And it was in the basement, as many of these meetings are, in New York, where I grew up. And all I could see is polyester muumuus and bad dye jobs and pamphlets that were really hideously designed. And I just couldn't relate. So if you're here, if you're a newcomer, or if you're what we call the New Yorker retread, and you don't relate to anything I say, it's okay. I'm not going to take it personally, because starting today, right here, right now, I'm going to recommit to Al-Anon. So it's okay if you don't relate to anything I say. But I do want to say that there's a couple of things that we promise in this program. And one of them is this, that there's only one thing that's going to happen if you keep doing the research, and that is that you will either go insane, you'll end up in an institution, or you will end up dead. When I was doing I was getting ready to hand over the spreadsheet to Don, and I was looking over our 139 commitments that it takes to do this meeting. And there was the bagel commitment, which David Martell eventually took over. But there was a kid's name on there, Robert, that called me up, and he had the original bagel commitment. And he said, I don't think I want to do it. It doesn't work in my schedule. And Robert OD'd a couple weeks ago on heroin. So the deal is that you can stay whether you believe you're an addict or not, or you can go out there and do more research. And if you do more research, our statistics show what's going to happen. So anyway, at 16, I came in and I needed to go out and do more research till I was 23. I'll give you the quick version of what that looked like. Several rapes. I came from an upper class family in New York. I ended up on the psychiatric ward of St. Vincent's for 2 years. My family disowned me. I ended up on the streets of New York. That's about all of the time of what it was like I have to tell you, but it was abysmal. And I still wasn't convinced that I was an alcoholic. I still wasn't convinced that it was bad enough. But my family had written me off, and they were like, good luck with that. So what happened was I went to meetings. I was in the Atlantic group on the East Coast, and through the thick fog of smoke, when I said I wasn't sure I was an alcoholic, I heard some guy say, why don't you go out and try some controlled drinking, which is what it says in the big book. And so that's what I did. And my last drink was on July 13th, 1990. From which I woke up once again with someone on top of me after a blackout. And that was the day that I decided that was the last time I was going to end up in that kind of what we call in AA incomprehensible demoralization. And you know what? That can just go on and on and on. If you listen to the stories, like that kind of incomprehensible demoralization can just go on and on in every area of your life. It just sweeps across every area. It doesn't matter if it's physical, emotional, spiritual. But let me get to the spiritual, because to me, that was the worst part. My mother was a minister, and my father was a mystic. You know, the whirling dervishes with like the skirts and stuff. No, don't laugh. That's my dad. This is your next secretary. Good luck with that. So irreverent. Anyway, I thought I had God down. I really did. I thought I had gone down. When I came to AA, it was the one thing. When I walked in the doors of this room, step one, we admitted we were powerless over alcohol, that our lives had become unmanageable. Check. Got it. Been in the psychiatric ward for 2 years. Behavior modification for 2 years. I come out. The only hope I have is they shipped me to Minnesota to a 12-step treatment center. I had never been to Minnesota, don't you know, in the tundra of the Midwest. And it wasn't even the pretty treatment center that like the books come from. It was like a horrible treatment center. And I come to, and I live in the basement with my aunt and uncle for 2 years on a pull-out bed while I get sober. And I'm in the Pacific group in the Midwest, and I have a sponsor, Gladys Green, God bless her. She rests now on the ground, and she's like, you're going to sit down, you're going to cross your legs, close your legs, cross your legs, close your mouth, open your mind, open your heart to the message of AA, and be of service. And the reason I'm telling you that is because I did not think that I did not know God. In the big book, it says God is, in We Agnostics, it says God is everything or God is nothing. And I thought that I had the God is everything plan because my mother was a preacher and my father was a mystic. And between the two of them, I had God, 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 God. I learned to meditate when I was in 4th grade. Like everybody else was going off to Bible camp, and we were going off to like Sufi camp, where we learned to like meditate on the rocks and like, om and chant and all that stuff. And in high school, I lived in an ashram, and I'm waking up at 4:30 in the morning, like with people with turbans on their head, and I'm like meditating and doing Kundalini yoga, like, like panting, breathing. So I thought I had the God thing down. That was not my problem. So step 2, came to believe in a power greater than myself. Check, got it. Step 3, turn my life over to that God. Got it. Step 4, hit the brakes. Searching and fearless moral inventory. Can't tell you how many of those I have done. Amazing, amazing process. The columns by the big book, the definitions, love them, have them memorized. That was different. But what I want to focus on is that I went through this whole thing in Minnesota of believing that I knew God's will for me, and I think I did. And you guys have a different vernacular here out in LA. It's you guys know, you guys look good. Like everything here looks good. Like this, even I look good. Like I look good. Like when I came here 5 years ago, I was like all black. I had short, like platinum hair, kind of like Susan Powder. And I was like an angry lesbian. I know, it's shocking, but I was. We have to talk about this. Like, I'm going to divert from God into sexuality for a moment. Like, everybody take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. I am taking a deep breath. So I was an angry lesbian, and I came from the Midwest, and, it wasn't pretty there. And you guys talk about cash and prizes. And there was something in the program where I'm like, I got God, check. I've done the 4th step. I've done the 5th step. I've made my amends. I've done the amends. And now I'm living my life. And I'm like, I'm living my life. I'm of service. I have sponsees. I have a sponsor. I have this program. My whole life is around the program. Everything in my life is like program centered. Like the program was the foundation of my life. Like my whole social life is the program. Everything I do is like this program. So I got it. I got it. I got it. I got it. Done and done. Famous last words of a recovering alcoholic are, I got it. Especially in the God arena. So meanwhile, I have like this voice in my head, the voice of like God that I'm interpreting, like living my life, like this is the person I'm with, and this is the career I'm in, and this is what I'm doing. And my spiritual practice gets deeper and deeper, and eventually I go and I live with Buddhist nuns in India for a year. And like, why are you laughing? Nobody else is laughing. This is your next secretary. P.S. He's not wearing pantyhose and a dress, so you're going to have to get used to like, a different version. He used to, but he, yeah. So I'm interpreting what I think God is telling me to be and to do in my life based on the working of this program, based on the fellowship, based on the people around me. And I end up in India on a spiritual quest, a vision quest. I'm working the steps. I've done my amends. Really, really, really rough patch with the parents. We don't have time to go into that, but like they're really rough patch. And I'm in India. I'm living with Buddhist nuns for a year, like praying, meditating. My career led me to be with the Dalai Lama. So now I'm with the Dalai Lama. And I know this has, I jumped. There was a non sequitur in there from like lesbianism to the Buddhist nuns, but like, let's not mix it up. Don't go there in your head. We'll get back to that. But now we're with the nuns, okay? We're meditating. Get that out of your head. Just like, be here now. That's what meditation is about. It's about being here now. It's about getting in the moment. Even if you're thinking about other things, be right here. So I'm with the Dalai Lama, and I'm thinking, like, you know, that whole thing about being an addict. And in the big book, it says, like, these are the stories of those of us that have recovered, ED. So now, if you're a smarty pants, like me, you're going to look at the big book and you're going to be like, I got it. I got it. Recovered. So it's possible to recover from this disease, right? And they say that we have a physical allergy of the body, and that the answer is, you know, physical malady, and that the answer is spiritual. I got it. So here's the physical thing. Back to the first step, just for a moment. I do know where I'm going. I know I'm a pretty blonde, and it looks like I might be a little lost. I'm not. I know where we're going with this. Trust me. Done. Physical allergy of the body. I love cats. Love. So every time I'm around a cat, I know I'm freaking allergic to cats. I know I am. I start to, you know, my eyes swell up and they get red and itchy and I can't breathe, and like my windpipe closes down and I get like sneezing, and then what do I do? I pick up the cat. Gotta pick up the cat because I love cats. And then I gotta start petting the cat. And then I gotta put my head in the cat's fur and start kissing it. And then I get like a rash all over my face. It doesn't happen once. It happens for the whole 45 years of my life, continually. I can go on medication. I go on medication. I get all the inhalers. It's like the whole lineup of like medications. And I still do it. Physical allergy of the body. Physical allergy of the body. Once I pick up the cat, I have no control over what happens in my body. None. The eyes start watering. The windpipe closes. The crazy obsession of the mind is like, I could maybe just pick up the cat, but then I have to stick my face in its fur and like start loving it up, and like it's now my best friend. And like then I'm crazy because I think that I can live with a cat and sleep with a cat and be with a cat. That's the physical allergy that it talks about in the big book. So like once you pick up the drink and it's in your body, it's like the allergy of the cat, the allergy of the body that gives rise to the obsession of the mind. Now I'm best friends with the cat, and I want to see the cat because I love the cat because we have a relationship. We understand each other. You're going to make me miserable, but I love you anyway because you're soft and furry. I'm going to pet you, and that's going to make me feel good for a little bit. And you're going to purr. And I'm going to keep doing it until like I have to go to the emergency room because my windpipe has shut down. But then I'm going to take more medication so I can pet you more because I love you and because you live with my boyfriend, and so we have to get along. So then we're going to keep doing it. Physical allergy of the mind that gives rise to the mental obsession. There, that's step 1 and 2. There you go. So I'm with the Dalai Lama. Do you think that he can make me less allergic to cats? Because basically, that's what I thought. I'm like, oh, if I'm with a spiritual person enough, if I pray and meditate enough, it can remove the allergy. That's what it means to be recovered. But I misinterpreted that part of the big book for like 20 some years of my sobriety. So God kept putting me in front of the Dalai Lama 1 time, 2 time, 3 time, 4 time in my career, 5 times, 6 times. 9 times I'm photographing the Dalai Lama, and you'd think I'd get that like it's not going to go away. Like the allergy is not going to go away. Thank God we have someone, one of the birthday people said, no matter what. You know, there's like, I got it, and then there's the no matter what. So somewhere in here, I'm working the spiritual part of the program. I'm doing the 10th step. I'm practicing. I'm showing up at meetings. I have commitments. I have a sponsor. Those are the foundations. We have a home group. We have a sponsor. We have commitments. What's missing? The steps, the steps, the steps, the steps. Steps, right? So right here, back here, right here, in my peripheral vision, there's this blind spot. And the blind spot is like, maybe I should do a 4-step because I'm really pissed that I had ovarian cancer. Pissed that the person I married in sobriety relapsed, that I lost the house. Pissed that I declared bankruptcy in sobriety. Pissed that I lost everything. Pissed. But I'm going to sit here and I'm going to meditate with the Dalai Lama and the Buddhist nuns, and it's going to be okay. So I come back to LA. I pull a geographic from Minnesota. I finally escape the tundra. Hallelujah. I come here. I sit with John and all the other people that think they can convert an angry lesbian. Thank you for that. Thank you. Well, I mean, look at me now. So I have to fast forward because I don't have that much time. But anyway, what happened is I was in so much pain, I put on my running shoes. You know, we talk about geographics in this program. So rather than sitting down and sitting with the pain with people that knew me, I did what I thought the voice in my head told me to do. I thought God told me, go to Australia. Go to Australia. Right, Melanie? Go to the promised land. So I inherited a bunch of money and I went to Australia. I went to meetings in Australia, but let me tell you the difference. When you have a home group, the reason they tell you to have a home group is because when you have a home group and you show up somewhere week after week, people look at you and they see you in pain. And when you're in pain, that is the most bittersweet thing to have happen. To have people that you are accountable to because you have a commitment and that you show up no matter what for people to see you. And that's when the naked truth comes out. If you're not working a program, you're in the desert years, as Lila talked about, and you're showing up and you're suiting up and you're sitting here and sometimes you're freaking miserable. Sometimes you have dozens of years of sobriety and you're miserable, but you're showing up. And the gift of it is that you're showing up and you have a home group and people that watch you, people that love you, people that see you, that set eyes on you. And you know what they're doing? They're holding a space for you. They're holding a space for you while you have that big blind spot on, like, what's going on? I'm not making the money. I don't have the car. I'm not married. I don't have the kids. My life is not looking like I want it to look. You know what they're doing? They are loving you unconditionally, and sometimes it's like salt on a wound. Sometimes it's so painful. So I ran to Australia because something in me thought that in my prayer meditation practice that God told me to go. So I went. I ran from you. I ran from this room. It's going to have a happy ending, I promise. Look at me, how could it not? So one of my sponsees said, look, you could just click your heels 3 times and come back. So I ran away to Oz, where I thought it would be sparkly and shiny and wonderful. And what happened was I thought I had recovered. Because I got over what we thought was cancer. I got over Minnesota. I got over all that, and I thought I had recovered and that I didn't need you anymore. I didn't want to be at the effect of this program. I wanted to graduate. I wanted to move on. And I was so mad at God, I fired God. I'm like, you don't work for me anymore, because look at where I am. I'm on the other side of the world. I'm sick. I'm tired. I'm done. Nothing in my life looks anything like you people told me it was going to look. I don't have the money. I don't have the relationship. My career, I don't know where my career is at. I've seen the Dalai Lama, but like, what has that done for me?
Sorry to interrupt your viewing. Taper Dave here. Just wanted to take a second to ask you to like and subscribe to my channel. Let me know if you like what you're listening. I've got some very good talks here, and this one's a great one. Just curious, do you think this is better than Zoom? Tell me what you think.
Here I am, and it doesn't look like I want it to look. And that night, I am staring at lines of cocaine. And I did what I learned how to do in the third step. No matter what, I got down on my knees. I did not believe in God. I did not believe in God, but what I believed in was something in between what it says in the big book. It says, God is everything or God is nothing. But you know what? When I got down on my knees, you know what I realized? God just is. God just is. Whether you believe it or not, in this room, your eyes, God just is. God just is. Thank God. Thank God I didn't throw away 22 years of sobriety. I hauled my ass back here. And a year ago, what my life looked like was I had nothing. It was my Harry Potter moment. I was living on an air mattress in my sponsor's walk-in closet. Thank you very much. I was driving a Flintstones car, then I might as well have pedaled with my feet. It was embarrassing. I parked it a block away from here. I had no money in my bank account. I took the only job that was available, which was Dave Martell, helping him clean out his mess, because you said to be self-supporting through my own contribution. Talk about incomprehensible demoralization. That was a bottom in sobriety, helping him sort out his dirty laundry. Disgusting. Yeah. God, thank you. Yeah. Thank you for giving me that job. I appreciate it. And then I got, elected to secretary here, which was like, oh my God. Gladys, God bless her heart, told me that when you chair a meeting, that you wear pantyhose, high heels, and a dress. So for the first several weeks that I spoke here, I borrowed a dress. Didn't even own a dress. But today I woke up and I had tea with the love of my life, who I met in this room, who I'm now engaged to, who bought me this beautiful dress, this outfit that I'm wearing. I've sat here week after week, and I've held the hand of my sponsor, Terry. The sponsor from my other program is here, who helped me walk through the steps again. And it is because of the steps that I have all of this. So, if you are new, if you are coming back, if you are struggling, I only have one thing. I have two things for you. 3. 4. It's okay if you're a cross-dresser. It's okay if you switch your sexuality. It's okay by me. It's okay. We will love you no matter who you are. We will love you. All you have to do is show up here, and no matter what, don't pick up. I think that's thing number 1 and number 2. Number 3, fucking work the steps. I don't care how much time you have. Do it. Do it. Number 4, thank you so much for keeping me sober. It has been an honor and an absolute privilege. I love you guys so much. Our format now allows for questions. John, do you have any questions for me? Any questions? I'll be really disappointed if you don't. No? Okay. Okay.
How and when did you reunite with your family? When were you finally accepted by
How and when did I finally reunite with my family? That's an awesome question because it's been a series. It's been like layers of the onion. And I initially did my amends to them, and it was a lot of forgiveness. Like, I had to really forgive them for leaving me on the streets of New York and for not bailing me out. And then it was, I had to forgive them, and then I had to let go of my expectations of them. And then I've had to show up different. I've had to show up for them. My mom is in the early stages of Alzheimer's. And I've had to learn how to show up for her. This most recent holidays was the only holidays that I've showed up. Judah and I went and we visited my family. And it was the most joyful, amazing holidays I've ever had. And it was like we showed up and we were of service. Like, we did the dishes, we cooked, we cleaned. Like, we were of service to them. And that's my mentality of how can I be of service to them? And through the years, the relationships have grown and they are so unbelievable. My relationships with my family is the most precious thing. You could take away absolutely everything I have in my life. You could take away everything, but my relationships with my family is the biggest gift of my sobriety. It is beyond my wildest dreams. To hear my parents say, I'm so proud of you. Shit. There's nothing that could be better than I'm so proud of you. And for them to go ring shopping with us was I've never had their approval like that. So the miracle is you stick around we know what happens when you go out. But if you stay, you don't know. The steps are Miracle Grow. The steps are the Miracle Grow of the program. And if you stay, you don't know what's going to happen. It's going to be beyond your wildest dreams. Ray.
Thank you for your service. How do you sponsor people and take them through the steps? Because you got a whole bunch of different home groups. I'm just curious.
Right. I take them through the steps, the traditional columns from the big book, and making sure that they understand the definitions from the big book and, 1 through 12. Yeah. Happy birthday, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Did you get a chance to talk to the Dalai Lama about your spirituality or the 12 steps?
I did. And the only thing that, did I have a chance to talk to the Dalai Lama about basically I talked to him about alcoholism and the 12 steps and spirituality. And, he's very humorous, and he just laughed, and he whipped his prayer beads around a little bit, and he played with his big toe, and he said, me too, my religion is kindness to others. That's what he said. Okay.
In regards to your sexuality,
I did open that door wide, didn't I? Okay.
going from being a heterosexual to
Okay.
a lesbian, back to a heterosexual, in sobriety,
Yeah.
how was there a lot of guilt associated with that? Did you work the steps
Yeah.
in order to
Yeah.
go to that place and come back to that place?
John asked about my roller coaster ride of sexual preference in sobriety and whether I worked the steps around it. Yeah. Oh, and was there guilt associated with it? Yes. One thing I didn't mention was that there's a lot of sexual abuse in my background, and and then there's the rapes, and so I've had a lot of outside help on those issues, and if you have any of those issues, that was very helpful for me. And then I just, just this is like, take what you like and leave the rest. I really feel like for myself, you can label things how you want, but it's about who I am in the moment and who I'm loving in the moment. The challenge is that society has labels, and I've had to really work on my steps with, there's a column, speaking of columns, and it's on acceptable sex relations. And there's two different definitions, and one is acceptable sex relations by society standards and God's standards, and then what I deem to be sexually, what I deem to be acceptable. So it's like I had to look at my life and be like, what part do I believe that God is leading me to be? Because ultimately, I have to be good with God. And no matter what I do, it has to be like between me and God, I'm good. And I have to feel clean and good with all my relationships. And I have to feel honest and open and not ashamed. And that's why I brought it up today, because I know that there might have been some confusion, and I just wanted to not have confusion about it, because I'm not confused. And so between me and God, we're good. We're good. Are you good?
I'm good.
Okay, good. Then we're good. Then we're good. Last question.
Take you anyway.
You can take me anyway. Oh, Lord. Scratch that from the record. Grant.
Thanks, Siddiqui. What happened in Australia when you were with the cocaine and then you prayed?
What happened when I was in Australia with the cocaine and then I prayed? Well, I didn't immediately believe in, like, what happened specifically, that I was in front of lines of cocaine, or like what happened?
What happened to what changed the situation and got you out of it? Did anything specifically happen?
Yeah. Yes. You know, we say it's a one day at a time program, and it is. Like, we wake up in the morning and we can only decide for today whether or not we're going to not drink. And actually, it's moment by moment. And if you're someone that has had a lot of sobriety and you've gone out and you've drank and then you've come back, I believe for myself that there is a cumulative effect of being in this room. Like, that you don't just ditch it all. You don't ditch what you know and you start over from scratch. Like, no, you've been here. You've sat your butt in the chair. You've listened. You've participated. Hopefully you worked the steps. And you've absorbed us. You know, that moment of God is the love in this room. So what happened to me in that moment was I realized that there were a lot of people that really loved me, a lot of people that really cared about me, and that in that moment, that it didn't matter whether or not I believed I was an addict and an alcoholic, that the love of those people, I kept it green. I kept my memory green about, like, what if, what's going to happen if I do this? Like, what if I do this and I'm wrong? What if I'm wrong? What if I'm wrong that I am an addict? And do I really want to take that chance? Can I afford to take that chance? Because I've already been institutionalized. I've already been crazy, certifiably. There's papers on it somewhere. And the only other option is death. Do I really want to die? Am I willing to take that chance? And so I got on my knees, and I just thought, just for today, no. No matter what, just for today. Because that you taught me that. So that's what happened. Thank you so much. I'm done. Peace out.
I think we got a great talk going on here. Thanks for watching the channel. Taper Dave here. Just curious, do you think this is better than Zoom? Okay, this is how I prepare my drone for launching. I like to do it inside the cab of my truck so I'm not standing outside in the weather. To install the joysticks for control, up and down, right and left, powered on. I have an Android phone that I use to connect it to the drone with. And it's actually controlled through the iPhone, through an app. Oops, wrong way. It's actually controlled through the iPhone, or through this Android phone, through the app. It's actually controlled through the Android phone, through an app, and you connect it through this short connection right here.
Remote control connected.
Remote control's connected. So I pull out the drone. I have to extend the legs. Long legs extended first, then the short legs. Remove the gimbal protector. Set that aside, then power it on one short burst, then one long burst. I lay it down. So I have to go to calibrate. So the drone's not connected yet. It shows you here as this drone gets disconnected, even though the remote's powered on. So the drone has to establish it's connected. So I go into the app to calibration mode. First I'll calibrate the remote controller. Start calibration. Out, in, out, in, up, down, and then this little wheel is to control the gimbal. So it's calibrated. Go to gimbal calibration, start calibration, and then it calibrates the gimbal. And if that shows up, the gimbal's moving all over the place. Changes, you can see it on the video. And I'm calibrated to take off. It's acquired 7 satellites at the moment. There are 26 satellites up in the sky, which it has to acquire before you can take off. So it's connected. It's got enough satellites. This is white. I can go to press this little arrow button, swipe right to take off, and it would start the motors if I slid this to the right. But I'll wait till I get outside. Don't want to do it inside.